The lecture hall of the Galactic Naval Academy fell silent as Professor Zelthor, a towering Krillian with crystalline scales, activated the holographic display. Ancient Earth fauna materialized in the air, creatures long extinct, catalogued only in the vast archives of humanity's lost homeworld. Behold, Zelthor's translator crackled, the dire wolf, apex predator of prehistoric Earth, bite force capable of crushing bone, pack hunters of legendary cunning. The hologram rotated, showing massive jaws and piercing eyes. Classification: extinct dire beast. Threat level Omega. Fortunately, none survived Earth's evacuation 3 centuries ago. In the back row, Cadet Ryan Vale shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Beneath his desk, something large and furry adjusted its position with a soft huff. Ryan had found Fenra as a pup on a forgotten colony world during his family's final deployment. The locals called her a guardian hound, a clever lie that had somehow persisted through customs, veterinary checks, and even the Academy's entrance screenings. No one questioned the oversized dog that followed the quiet human cadet everywhere. After all, humans were known for their bizarre attachment to domesticated creatures. But Fenra was no dog. At nearly 200 pounds of muscle, fang, and ancient instinct, she was something the galaxy believed extinct, and she was currently drooling on Ryan's boot. The dire wolf's extinction represents a fascinating case study, Zelthor continued, oblivious to the living fossil snoring under desk 47B. These creatures were too dangerous, too wild to coexist with civilization. When humanity fled their dying world, they made the logical choice to leave such monsters behind. Ryan felt Fenra's head lift at the professor's tone. Even half asleep, she sensed his tension. He dropped his hand to scratch behind her ears, a gesture that had calmed her since puppyhood. She settled immediately, her trust in him absolute. Monster wasn't the word Ryan would use. Family seemed more appropriate. A Thexian cadet 3 rows ahead raised a tentacle. Professor, weren't humans themselves classified as dangerous deathworlders? Why would they fear their own planet's predators? Zelthor's scales flickered with amusement. An excellent question. Humans may have originated from a Class 12 deathworld, but they lack the natural weapons of true predators. No claws, no venom, no armored hide. They survived through tool use and pack bonding, primitive strategies that required eliminating competition from actual apex predators like the dire wolf. Ryan bit his tongue. The irony was exquisite. Here was a professor lecturing about humanity's fear of wolves while a human sat comfortably with one sleeping at his feet. The same species that had supposedly driven wolves to extinction had also domesticated their ancestors, turning wild hunters into loyal companions over thousands of years. Not that Ryan would ever explain this to Zelthor. Some truths were better left buried. The lesson continued with footage from archaeological digs, fossilized remains, ancient cave paintings depicting wolves in combat with prehistoric humans. Each image painted predator and prey locked in eternal conflict. Fenra yawned, revealing teeth that matched the holographic display with uncomfortable accuracy. As the lecture drew to a close, Zelthor assigned the class a practical exercise. You will each research an extinct Earth species and present on why its loss was necessary for galactic integration. Dismissed. Cadets filed out in clusters, their various species mixing in the corridors. Ryan waited, as he always did, letting the crowd thin. Fenra stretched beneath the desk, her massive frame unfolding like a shadow-given substance. "Come on, girl," Ryan whispered. "Coast is clear." They made their way through the empty halls, Fenra's claws clicking softly on the metal floor. She moved with the fluid grace of a born hunter, yet stayed within arm's reach of Ryan. Always protective, always loyal. They had nearly reached the dormitory wing when voices echoed from around the corner, completely unprecedented. A Class 12 species admitted to the Academy without a single recorded incident of aggression. Ryan recognized Commander Sora's voice. He pressed himself against the wall, signaling Fenra to sit. She obeyed instantly, becoming perfectly still. "The humans continue to surprise us," another voice replied. Admiral Keshatar, head of the Academy. "Every projection suggested they would struggle with authority, with restraint. Instead, they've proven remarkably civilized. Perhaps we judge them too harshly based on their world's classification. Perhaps. Or perhaps they simply learned to master the beast within." Footsteps faded. Ryan exhaled slowly. Fenra looked up at him with eyes that held an intelligence older than starships and treaties. She wasn't the monster the galaxy feared. She was proof that the most dangerous creatures could choose peace, that predators could protect rather than destroy. That night, as Fenra sprawled across 3/4 of his bunk, Ryan pulled up his datapad to begin research for Zelthor's assignment. The Galactic database still listed dire wolves as extinct, still classified them as incompatible with civilized society. He glanced at Fenra, who had rolled onto her back, paws in the air, snoring like a malfunctioning engine. Incompatible, Ryan muttered, scratching her belly. Sure. The truth was simple, though the galaxy wasn't ready to hear it. Humans hadn't feared the wolf. They'd befriended it. They'd looked at a creature of fang and fury, and seen not a monster to destroy but a companion to cherish. They'd taken the apex predator of their world and made it family. That was the real reason humanity thrived among the stars. Not because they'd conquered their monsters, but because they'd never seen them as monsters in the first place. Fenra's tail thumped against the wall in her sleep, dreaming whatever dire wolves dreamed. Ryan smiled and returned to his datapad. He had a presentation to write about extinction and necessity. It would be, he decided, mostly fiction.